All right, so we're here in San Marcos, Texas. For those of you guys that don't know, it's close to Austin, Texas. We're at Metroflex Gym. And this is a special gym to us because we've had a relationship with, this is Danny and Michelle, the owners and proprietors of the gym. We've had a relationship with them for years since I've been with the company. Why don't you tell us first how you got involved with the company and the brand, and then we'll talk about the gym.
Well, it just started back in 2007. I was a manager of a local gym here in town, and I popped open my first can of Animal Pack, read about the company, got on the forum, and that's when I just started learning about what Animal and Universal is all about. And I went to the Dallas Europa that year. They had a booth, and that's when I got to meet Eric Fankhauser, met
That's
Eric
right.
and G Diesel.
You gave us a ride to the airport that day, I remember.
And just been friends with the company since then, and got to know the guys, and it's all been history.
Cool. Tell us about your gym here. Now, this is very unique. The gym is, a lot of it's outside, very hardcore. Definitely lives up to the name Metroflex.
Well, Metroflex itself, we pride ourselves on being known as a hardcore training facility. It's just the aspect of the gym is people don't come here to work out, they come here to train, whatever their goals are, whether it be bodybuilding, strongman, powerlifting, or just to achieve whatever goals they might hit. We're just trying to bring powerlifting, bodybuilding to the area and kind of live up to the Metroflex brand.
Yeah, you guys definitely do that. The atmosphere here is great. A lot of people train hard. I noticed you got a lot of college kids because we're close to one of the big universities, is that
Texas
right?
State, yeah.
Texas State, it's a big school, so there's a lot of college kids that train here. But everybody in there that I met is here to train seriously. No fluff. So if you guys are in the area, you're near Austin, near San Marcos, you want to train at a serious gym, this is where you got to come.
Come on out and check us out, guys.
The other difference you'll notice, Antoine's elbows are almost parallel, which activates more of the pec. Mine are tucked in more, which gives you more power for powerlifting.
Yeah.
He's also really controlling the eccentric, the way down, and I'm not as concerned with the way down as I am with the explosion on the way up.
And my coach tell me I'm always supposed to keep my forearm below like the bar like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that goes for both powerlifters.
So I don't know if I'm doing it or not, but what I like to do sometimes is, you see on the last reps I did, I go down very slow, and when I take off, I really activate the chest first, boom, and then I just contract. I was actually almost posing with the bar.
Right. And I'm not thinking about the pecs when I'm going up. I'm pushing with everything: lats, triceps, pecs, shoulders, leg drive. So that's a big difference too.
A lot of guys, if you're a bodybuilder, you're gonna get this question asked all the time: how much do you bench? But if you're actually looking to get bigger pecs, it's not how much you bench; it's how much you feel the pecs, whatever the exercise. For somebody medium or starting out, starting with the bench usually is not the best idea because you're gonna think about the weight. Let's put some more weight, but the more weight you put, the more shoulders and tricep you might involve in the movement because you might not have the right technique yet. So what I would suggest to do is start off with something else, like a fly movement, like a pec deck, a crossover, or something to really isolate the muscle first, and then move on to a compound movement like bench. Or if you really want to start with bench, I would personally start off with dumbbells, because dumbbells you can stretch more, squeeze more. Bench, people think bench equals a lot of weight, and that's not the best thing to do when you have big pecs. But if you want to start off with bench, make sure the form is right, and you start off with the chest. You don't use too much weight, you control the weight on the way down, all the way to the chest or almost, and don't bounce. Don't bounce, you need to go all the way down. Because if you bounce, you're missing a big part of the chest that works and you might injure yourself. If you don't go all the way down, same thing. The chest part where it works the most is from here to there. So go all the way down, stretch, and then squeeze the chest.
first exercise for triceps, I always do a cable movement. I usually will do with a rope press down or a single arm cable. And believe it or not, I mean, I like single arm press downs better than using both arms together, because sometimes I'll compensate, one arm weaker than the other. And this allows me really to focus on one arm individually. And I also play with my arm positioning, the upper arm positioning, to make the movement harder. A lot of times people will ergonomically put themselves in a situation where they can lift heavier weight. I like to position kind of in a way where it's harder, more on the tricep, less than the elbow. So I usually will do like 3, even 5 sets. That's including warm-up sets. Sets 10 to 15 for a cable press down for my first tricep exercise. And I always start with triceps. I used to start with biceps for years and years and years, and I decided I would change it up. But probably in a couple months, I'll probably go back to doing biceps first, then triceps. But after I do this, I usually move into overhead movements. And I'm going to show you this particular overhead movement and a particular technique you can improvise where you can get more stretch, more activation out of the long head of your tricep, the tricep head that hangs out in the back, which everybody loves if you genetically don't have it. I love doing overhead movements. I think it's a particular tricep movement that people neglect. Everybody's sticking with press downs with different grips. And I like to improvise more movements where the long head of the tricep is stretched. So for an example, the long head of the tricep comes and attaches up higher than the other parts of the tricep, the medial and lateral. So when your arm's above your head, the long head is stretched and more activation occurs the more the arm is in this position. So when I do overheads, again, I don't position myself where I can lift heavy weight by keeping my elbows down. I keep my elbows back up and feel a good stretch. And when I push up, I bring it straight up, not away. This is easy as pie. Putting your elbows up like this and going straight up is much more difficult. Last set, did a little heavier, moved a little bit faster. I always, on the eccentric part of the motion, always like really try to decelerate the weight as much as I can. Decelerate that resistance to get as much tearing as you can in the muscle fibers. Those little micro tears are gonna grow back stronger and bigger. And then I did a drop set and made a real distinct point and keep my arms completely straight. And obviously a lot of you guys know sometimes if you go lighter, sometimes you get a completely different feel. My last time I did the drop, I felt the burn so much more deep inside the part of the tricep that I'm trying to focus on and just bring it to failure. Sometimes like you don't get that mind-muscle connection really with heavy weight until you learn with lighter weight. So I'm able to go, I'm always going heavier, slowly, heavier, slowly, and staying in that mind-muscle connection zone, not just ripping heavy weight.
Called 21s. That's an old school technique. You can do them with curls, you can do them with a few different things. So he did 7 reps in the bottom range of motion, partial. He did 7 reps at the top, partial, and then the last 7 is full range of motion. It's killer. A lot of guys do them with curls, but you can pretty much do them with almost any exercise.
what this is intended for. Viewer discretion is advised. This is a preacher curl with a cable set up. As you can see here, for those of you who are into cars and racing motocross, we used to call things like jerry rig stuff, where it's not intended the use of. So I attached an ankle strap, extra 2 carabiners to give it more length, so I can sit the opposite side on this bench and do behind the neck tricep extensions. And I'm using the straight bar with a grip right here. And same thing again, really focusing on squeezing the long head of the tricep, trying to get more stretch, hitting that long head as much as I can to get it come out. And this last year, my triceps have made pretty good darn ground in 12 months time since I've been doing exercises more overhead. The best and worst part about bodybuilding is there's obviously proper technique in exercises, which the form police, the guys who troll the internet all day long looking to rip on people because of their form and they have nothing else better to do. In bodybuilding, sometimes you got to critique certain things to you so you feel it more. I remember one time people were ripping on Juan Morel for not doing like full range of motion in his bench press. Well, you know what? You're going to argue with the development of his chest? No, I don't think so. So certain people will do specific things and do them certain ways, and that's what's worked for them. This is not a competition as far as like how much you can bench in the weight room, touching your chest, locking out every repetition, pausing. That's not the competition. The competition is won on the day of the show, day of the stage. Critiquing your technique to lift more weight. No, critique your technique in any way to bring more stimulation to that muscle you're trying to target.
Obviously many different grip widths, triceps, whatever. But if you have any shoulder injuries, impingement, rotator cuff, and regular bench bothers you, by doing this bar, it takes a lot of that strain off your shoulder.
It's actually very hard because you need to stabilize it like this. And I'm doing it today because I don't have it at my gym. And like I said before, when I see something new in the gym, I don't have an opportunity to try it often, I try it. And it's actually my second time ever or first time that I do this. So I've been training for 13 years, so it's cool to try new stuff, you know? A lot of people ask, how do you get upper chest? And actually me, it's one of my weak points, upper chest. And it's hard to do upper chest because the more incline you go, the more shoulders gets involved. So I think it's a lot mostly with genetics, but it's also how you activate the chest. And with this, it's kind of cool because when I do it, I can actually squeeze the bar like that and activate the chest as I go up. So in my head, I'm trying to like squeeze it like this at the same time as I'm pressing up, and I get some good upper back activation. So I think it's working for today with this. But for the lower chest, like normal bench or decline or dips are really good for lower chest. I might do some dips and crossovers after, so we'll see.
Alternate dumbbell curls, kind of like the bread and butter. Everybody does it. Everybody does it differently. People tend to do this exercise with like, with a vengeance, with heavy weight. But I can say that like, there's ways to do it to kind of make it a little more challenging, operating more of a twist out instead of kind of doing this. So I'm going to demonstrate both, where people use the form to be cool in the mirror, and then people use form to really like try to isolate the muscle. So this is the form you're used to seeing in the gym. Belly out and everything. Good form. Stay up straight, and when you rotate the dumbbell like this. Out. out. So this is one of the exercises that I prefer over hammer curls lately. You grab a rope, put it on the bottom cable. Make sure you have a double pulley system. For whatever reason, my personal preference, the double pulley system, I can focus more of a contraction to the whole motion speed. Just a different feel. It's not like it's wrong or right. It just feels a little different. And what I do is when I pull up, I pull in this direction. And since you could take the cables and pull them apart, I'll do a set quickly facing you. I go like this, and apart. Together, apart.
Don't mess with Texas, baby. Everything's bigger in Texas. Boom. Here we are at San Marcos, Texas, in the river. What's the name of the river here? I don't know. But we're beside the gym. Metroflex Gym in San Marcos. It's a river that was just cooling down because it was so hot over there. Yeah, that's it.
This water is cold. It's like might be like 103 degrees outside, and like 72 degrees in here. I got goosebumps.
Feels pretty good.
Venice, Italy right now. We have to take boats. Oh.
We're in San Antonio. Antonio, like my name, Antoine.
At the Riverwalk.
At the Riverwalk, yeah. And this is where Jesus actually walked on the river, you know? Like on the water, is that it?
Nah, I don't think that's the same
No,
place.
he doesn't know anything about Jesus anyways, right?
Hey, hey.
Hey, hey, pal.
JC was Jewish. Don't forget that.
It's true. Yeah, right. So,
JC.
Now talk about something.
JC.
Like, serious, please?
We're near the Alamo. Very important historical site.
Yeah, it's when the Texans wanted to be independent from Mexico.
And they fought and they kicked their ass.
13 days they fought, right?
Davy Crockett was here.
That's correct.
So we're actually gonna walk around and see what this is all about.
Maybe take a boat ride.
Smell the aromas, nothing I can eat.
Yeah, look at flex, flex, flex.
so grateful to be a part of being able to come down here.
The boat trip or the road trip?
How's the boat trip?
Oh, the boat trip. Boat trip, in my
So
mind.
grateful to be a part of this boat trip. It was a great opportunity to be a part of this boat trip here with Chris Tuttle and the family. It was a family. The boat trip was amazing. And I learned about all the hotels around San Antonio and even the convention center with the biggest ballroom in Texas.
I almost didn't pay attention to anything. I was just falling asleep.
Very grateful. Hashtag blessed. You know, at the Cantina Rio, the fresh Tex-Mex from Texas, San Antonio. I got here some fish tacos. You got some steak quesadilla.
Quesadillas.
I got some
I
water.
got some more water. And we're gonna enjoy our food while he just stares and wondering why he's doing. He shows his job.
Pondering his life. We're right on the Riverwalk in San Antonio, and if you guys get a chance to come down here, you gotta check it. Really nice down there. Super cool, just rows and rows of restaurants and bars.
Just don't come here when you're prepping for a show.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
The boat trip was awesome. I know all about the hotels in the area. You know?
Yeah, tell us about it.
Well, for example,
Really nice here. Everybody's just relaxing, chilling out, eating, drinking,
it's a good
outside.
atmosphere. It's a tourist atmosphere, but not stressed, not like laid back. Everybody's having fun. It would be a wonderful place to bring your girlfriend or wife, you know, like with the water. It's like some kind of like Italy wannabe.
Like Venice, Italy. Yeah.
But actually like Texas style.
Nice vibe. And you're right by the Alamo, so you can check out the Alamo too.